a blue jay. It could be any type of bird. Learn your birds and find out the totems, because those are messages that are traveling through the wind. See, the spirit can move through the wind. It's just, do you have the discernment and the right acuity to perceive the sim when it's coming to you, right? Because if you can see the sim, it's like, oh shit, I interpret it. I know what that means, you know, and you move on it. You don't even think about it. Remember I told you got to transcend thinking? Once you transcend thinking, it's like, yo, I ain't got to think about that shit. I know that's some bullshit. I know I need to not, you know, interact with that. So as time go along, you guys, you will develop new repetitive activity in your life, new exercises, right? Putting your feet in the grass, inhaling the sunlight, pouring your libations, having an activated altar in your life, burning ancestor money, leaving offerings up, learning about other cultural backgrounds and other tribes and ethnic groups across the world, right? Learn about other people's cultures. It's not taboo. You ain't got to cosplay that shit, but learn about it and see what you connected to, because you connected to this shit. You was here first. The 9 ether negroid seed. It was here first. Going back 2.7 million years ago. In Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya. They got even older shit. They just ain't gonna tell you. Them anthropologists they don't like to put that information out there, man. They was real racist during the 1800s. That's why all that you come from monkeys bullshit. When we don't got thin lips. Chimps have thin lips. And now they trying to thicken their lips up. Right? Tell me I'm lying, man. But see, I ain't paying attention to all of that mess. Like, we too far in the generations for this type of banter to even exist. It's embarrassing. And they still having a tone, which shows you the level of arrogance and haughtiness that these individuals have. And I'm saying as a society, that's what's being perpetuated. And no one is standing against it. Right? You said a red-tailed hawk left. Yeah, you need to look up red-tailed hawk animal totem or spiritual meaning and watch what it say. That was meant for you to hear that message right now. And when you look it up, it was meant for you to process what you get out of that right now. Right? And that came from the spirit animal. And what the spirit animal is the spirit of every red-tailed hawk across the whole globe. All of their energy put together makes up the spiritual animal in the spirit, in the spiritual universe, right? And it was sending you a message. That's how it sends you a message. And these are spiritual connections. These are not physical connections, like you pick up your cell phone. You hear me? It ain't like that. It's a spiritual connection, and it comes through the psychic center. I'm always telling you guys about the psychic center, the brow chakra. That's highly essential. When that thing is activated, man, you picking up on all type of stuff. The whole thing is you got to stop second guessing yourself. A lot of people second guess themselves, and that's where the ego operates from the second mind, because it's dealing with it has autonomy over the body. It's there to make sure that the heart is pumping, the blood is moving, the liver doing what it's supposed to do. It's sending enough thought consciousness into that while you focus from here. But you've been programmed and conditioned to live in fear and doubt and uncertainty, right? That when you get that intuitive prompting, a lot of times we disregard it and we second guess it or we third guess it. And that's when it turns into doubt. 4, we fourth guess it. Now it then turns into fear. And you like, damn. All you had to do was follow your first mind, right? And move on it. See, it's the things that you're able to move on. If you're able to move on something, then you can move on it. If you can't move on it, that means you can't move on it. You got to sit and wait and see what you can do, right? There's a whole bunch of different anomalies in play with the probabilities when that occurs. Because see, I told y'all stuff needs your attention. You have to acknowledge it first. And if you don't give certain things your attention, then it shrinks. It don't got that energy that it needs to thrive. When you get that attention to yourself, you know what I mean? Not to your ego, to the self. What's going to make you a more spirit? What will bring more of your spirit here? Right? What can you do to free your spirit up in this dimension? What can you do? What do you do that allows your spirit to flow through this dimension and impact this realm in a positive way? Because you're a spiritual being, right? And when you can move coherently from that aspect of yourself, then this is just Play-Doh, right? See, everything is mental now. That's why I come with the mental knowledge. Everything is mental. It don't matter what you say. It's about what you do. You need to get you something to repetitively say 108 times. I told y'all the sequence of mastery, right? Or to memory. That's really the master of memory. You say something 19 times, it gets stored in your awakened memory. 38 times, it gets into your subconscious memory. 57 times, it begins to crystallize in your consciousness. You do it 76 times, it leaves an imprint in the outer verse. So now you'll start seeing it everywhere. 95 times you didn't master that, but you got to be repetitive. You can't just be off and on. You got to be repetitive with it. Then it just becomes second nature, right? And that's what it's all about, you guys. That's what it's really all about. Tapping into your own potential, the potential of who you are and what you're capable of performing. And them the type of techniques we give out in the community. I'm telling you guys, y'all use this stuff. It fucking work, man. The proof is in the pudding at this point, you know. But I ask people to ask questions. You guys got any questions? Any questions, you can leave them in the comment section. Uh, man, where's that place at? It wasn't in Malibu. Yeah, so you know, man, come join us in San Antonio. Come on out, come take the discourse in person. It's cheaper. And you get to see in real time what you need to do. You know, you can get all the ins and outs of everything. That'll be in July. Tickets available on the website. You know, we got the Ultra Tech on deck. Not to say that the other tech doesn't work. It's just not things are at an ultra level, right? I put more ingredients into the mix. So how would you measure the smallest unit of time? Shouts out to DJ Lemon Line. Well, what you would do is say, You gotta have a first before you have a second. And before you have a first, you gotta have a zero. You hear me? So the smallest unit of time would be no time, right? Outside the range of time. And then everything that equates to the measurement of time fits inside of that. So the second is just a measurement of the Proto-Indo-Euro because it came here second. The Proto-Indo-Europeans, they came here second. So they're going to tell you his story. He's not going to tell you my story because he wasn't here first. He was here second. And so the smallest unit of time for him is a second. And you always got to give him a second. And he want that second to be first. And that's where the spell of time come into play. When you live moment to moment. You know, you shift and your vibration shifts. You're shifting. Movement is the one thing that's constant. Everything on your body is moving. The whole planet, the whole solar system is moving. It's not even sitting still. We're not even aware of the nebulas that our galaxy is moving through right now. You're not even aware of none of that. You hear me? Things just moving at that rate. Everything is moving. Supreme energy knows how everything moves, right? It just don't sit still and stagnant. It keeps moving and keep creating, you know. What we fail to realize is that the universe exists and pervades an interest in needing to understand what you are. And that's what scientists can't fathom. They can't fathom that. And because they can't fathom that, they think it's not so. But no, it is so. The universe exists interdependent of you, regardless of what you do or don't do. It's still going to do what it does. Right? But yeah, I hope that asked you a question with time. With the time, you know, 60 seconds. I showed you guys this before. 60 seconds. Yeah, I remember that from yesterday. Mm-mm. All right. Y'all remember that from yesterday, right? Let's see. Turn that light on. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to keep that up there for y'all. Keep that up there. Yeah, so 60. Oh, just marker. So, all right, that's the grimoire. The grimoire tells you that this is 60 seconds, but this is 60 seconds. You see that? Then when they get to 59 seconds, the time loops. So you missing 60, 61, right? And then you got to account for the 00 because it start over again. So that's about 3 seconds, 4 seconds that's missing from every minute of every hour since they did that back in 1884 with the Greenwich Meridian. Follow? That's where the time, that's where they corrupted the time with the London clock or whatever, the Big Ben clock of London. And we know what Big Ben is. That's the big sun. Ben means sun. They're using grimoire, the Big Ben clock. We used to use a sundial and got the measurements of the diameter of the planet. They didn't have that. They thought that you would go off the end of the earth for a long time. That's why I be telling y'all, their timelines be skewed up. And you pay attention to the timeline and how they say things go out. It's like, yo, you're just covering the Proto-Indo-Euro. You're not including all the time, right? And you're perverting what people are perceiving in their awareness field. That's not cool. And then you're not offering them anything better. Right? You just got to stop tolerating that crap. That's it. In this great damn time. I hope that answered your question about the 60 seconds. Any other questions? You can ask another one if you have another question. Come join us in San Antonio, July the 25th. We're going to be going all day, 9 to 7, I guess. Right? Ancestor altar activation workshop. Come find out how to put your altar together. Come grow up under my guidance. And find out how to put together your life and alter it piece by piece, the way that you want it to go, right? Not the way I want it to go, because it's going to be you and yours that's conducting that activity, right? I'm telling you. And it's for the better. It ain't for the worse. Why you think they discourage family? That's what's missing, man. You want to start a business, you need to have your family behind you. Period. Living and dead. You want to succeed. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. They go to there are new personal size pyramids. It's a little bit bigger. Fresh out the lab. New OrgoniteTEK. Yeah. Isn't she a beaut? The malachite, lapis lazuli. See the double edges? Craftsmanship. Yeah. I'm gonna have some pyramids at the event. That's what I'm working towards. I'm gonna have some pyramids out there. Man, that mug got my left eye jumping crazy too. Yeah, my eye be jumping and shit, man. Like pyramids put you on another level once you open up and you become receptive to the messages that are coming from beyond the crown chakra, right? The crown chakra is what receives it. It receives the transmission, and you think about it. It's how you able to think about the transmission. Then can you communicate the transmission? Can the transmission communicate through you, right? And that's a stream of consciousness that's coming from the oversoul, the super consciousness, right? And you just have to have enough of a vocabulary and a understanding of sound right reasoning to process that streamline of consciousness as it comes into your awareness field, right in here, right? Right in here. But you have to be aligned with yourself. That's why I was telling you all about the chakras, the ones in your feet. We just pretty much went over what was in the feet yesterday, right? The feet, that hold all the organs, all of the glands in your body. They right in your feet. They don't, the endoeural system won't teach you about the chakras in your feet. It stop you at the root. That's to disconnect you from the planet. Then they don't tell you about the one over the crown. That's right, reflexology. Look on the reflexology chart. They show it to you. Like they put it right in your face. They're like, yo, they put it right in our face. And they're confident that you're not gonna figure it out. You're just gonna look at it and be like, oh, okay, whatever. But that gotta change. We have to switch it up, if you will, and make things a little bit more accessible, right? But they put stuff out in movies, and people just gotta want to wake up, man. Ain't nobody gonna. You gotta want to know, right? And like I told y'all, I've been on this path over 29 years, and I just show people what I know, what I've experienced from my trial and error, right? So you automatically learn it on the curve. And I tell you guys that all the time, especially the people that take the discourse or show up the workshop, and you never did any of these things. You starting off where it took me about 14 years to get to. Right? So you automatically picking up on the curve. You automatically, you done accelerated, the capabilities and the probabilities of the level of evolution you're capable of experiencing in this reality. And every day there's trillions of dollars poured into this economy just to distract you, to thwart your potential, to lessen the probability of you making them divine alignments. So how many teachers did you have? Man, several. Just in Wahani alone, I could count about 5 teachers, right, that I learned from. Along with all of the other elders, just the elders in general, just in my life. I've always been studious. Um, that's an attribute I got from my father. And, just any elders. I was always taught so, and I always acknowledge all of the elders, those that are with us and those that have passed on. But I know that my teacher came from a succession of teachers, and I know the path of those teachers, and I know the teachings that my mother and father that they given me. All of our great teachers and so-called leaders, you know, I subscribe to all of them, right? Everybody had a little something. And it's like, you got to take out the meat, separate the meat from the bone. And man, if I can honestly say, man, it's just so many of them. Read The Relationship of Oneself. I show you in that book all of the people that was stepping up, at that time, and I give it up for Bobby Hemmett. He an elder. I respect him in his eldership and, for the path that he laid, but he be on that dark magic and Baphomet. I don't be into that. I always got to say that. So people can't say that shit. But Dr. Ben Yakinen, Dr. Henry Clark, Booker T. Coleman, Professor James Smalls, right? Of course, Dr. Melchizedek Duck York L, even Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, anyone that is an elder, if they have a curriculum or something that they have authored, I'm going to hold them in a higher esteem than just a normal person, right? And I'm going to be receptive to what they have to say. But, man, Dr. Jude Pulcrum, Dr. Ani Marimba, right? Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. These are women. And I don't hear a lot of women talk about these women. But they really did, make an impact on the social conscious of our people. And for some reason, we keep getting this minstrel show perpetuated across these media platforms. And people think that that's who we are, and that's not who we are, right? We are not that. That is a marketed gimmick of what they want you to be, right? It's a marketed gimmick. And it's like, yo, man, we are not whores and we are not, criminals. We're not thugs. We don't want to live that life. Hell, the nigga rapping about that shit don't want to live that life. Think he happy with that shit? All that poverty and despair and, hopelessness? That's not nothing to look forward to. And I believe people that make that music, they need to have that disclaimer in their music. So now they start to find even younger people to perpetuate, that type of behavior. Because it sells. It's a market for it. It's making money. It got people buying hotels at an alarming rate. The wigs, the eyelashes, the nails, right? Fellas with the trucks or with the cars, whatever it might be. The jewelry. See, they just got Johnny Dang for fake jewelry. You see what I'm saying? Dr. Ray come to Texas, shit got to start revealing itself. It can't be on no bullshit. And I'm emitting the right frequency in this motherfucker. My pyramid has been in the ground. It's been in there good enough to where it's gonna spread across the whole fucking state. And anybody, all that flim flam shit gotta stop. Right? It just do. But we getting sick of being perpetuated. Like all we could do is just aspire to be a criminal. You know what I mean? That's all we can do. The woman, she's just a loose floozy. That's how you perpetuate it. I'm not saying that that's how you are, but that's how we perpetuate it. And it can stand because we don't have an identity that we collectively agree upon, right? You've been given a curriculum to condition you to accept what that curriculum says about you. And it tells you that you were from Africa and that you were sent over here on a boat, right? They had a whole bunch of boats with a whole bunch of niggas on it. They were suppressing 100,000 people per ship, allegedly. And that's some bullshit. Right? That's a story. I told y'all, they into fantasy. They like to tell stories. And I told y'all originally when they came over here on a clandestine mission to spread Catholicism, for the Quakers, the Puritans. These were religious Protestant groups that was looking to escape the church in England because it was warrants out on them because they established themselves during the Supremacy Act of 1592 with King Henry. See, this is closer to a relevant time because they didn't even really get over to these shores until 1620, the first time, just to make sure that the coast was clear. So they didn't discover America. Not even Christopher Columbus. What they did was they were just going there to spread Christianity to the savages. See, that's how they view people that don't follow along with their doctrine. Yeah, we're going to address the savages and bring the Lord Jesus Christ into their life and put some clothes on their backs. We're going to give them rice and protein. Right? That's what they're going to do for you. They always come with a little sweet, subtle voice. We don't want to hurt you. We just want to help the people and show them the way of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Right? And anything that so-called savage is doing that's not in alignment with what they deem to be the right way or the righteous way, then they will physically violate you some type of way. Right? It's the same thing they did when they came over here. See, they didn't use their state to enforce their law. They used their religion. And that take away your spiritual power. That's a ghost energy that you adhering to. And that's what's suppressing us. That's what's enforcing the spell upon you. You got to break that spell. You got to want to, though. You got to want to break that spell. Right? That's the only way that shit gonna come off. And once it do, hey, man, it's all on you then. It's all on you. You start paying attention to what you thinking, what you speaking, and what you feeling. And you're going to store that inside of your subconscious mind. And you're going to keep referring back to it. And when you allow the superconscious to get that override, when you get the override part, you get the superconscious override, you done already crystallized enough stuff into the subconscious mind that it could just pick up gems and jewels of crystals that you've stored and hyper accelerated into the timeline that you want. Because it's beyond time. The super consciousness is beyond time, space, and dimension. But that takes time. That takes time to apply with your attention coherently, consecutively, repetitively. Because see, existence is your co-conspirer. It's existence itself. And it's paying attention to what you're thinking and what you're speaking and what you're feeling. I'm telling y'all, they don't want y'all to get to know this, man. It's beings that don't benefit from you knowing that and applying that into your life. You can amplify whatever you got going on just knowing these things. Anybody else got any other questions? Got a sale going on the website. We got sales on the big guns, sales going on for the small pendants, the medallions, right? Personal size pyramids, OrgoniteTEK pyramids going up this evening. Here on 1089 TV, 1089techvision.com. Yeah, so we in the head Heru era, you guys. Said Jesus fled to Egypt. Yes. Yeah, I guess you could say he fled to Egypt. Yeah. That's what God said, take my son, reside there until Herod is dead. That's Matthew chapter 2, verse 14. Happy Nile Valley. That's right. Jerusalem. Heru is the Prince of Peace. See, them biblical people, they had to put themselves on that biblical timeline to get some relevancy. Like, they didn't have no relevancy, man. Without the Bible, the Church of England was nothing without the Bible. Same thing with the Romans. Without that Bible, it's like, there's no relevancy. Do we chant codes 108 times until it equals or surpasses 10 for it to materialize? That's an excellent question. It depends on what it is and how you move it. So, like, if you said 1089 times, like yesterday, I did what I do. I did easy money. And I did it 1089 times. And after I did it, I had sales in my website. Like right when I finished doing it. Like I went to my website and it told me like, yo, you got some more sales. You hear me? I go out, I go run my errands, I still keep doing the code. I come back home, it's even more sales. It'll just keep happening if I keep saying it. And I'm aware of it. And I'm putting my attention on it. And it's expanding. You know, I got another one that I say consistently. That Om Shreem Hleem Clean, Om Shreem Hleem Clean, Om Shreem Hleem Clean, Om Shreem Hleem Clean. Man, I do that thing 1089 times. All type of stuff start popping off. I told y'all I get stuck at the when you get the scratch offs, I get stuck there because I keep hitting them. If I get in one of them zones and I stop at a spot and it tell me to stop, I get out, I get a scratch off, I hit it, I get another one, I hit again, I get another one, I just keep hitting them. I can keep hitting them mugs. But you gotta get that percolator going, and it's gonna fixate into your reality, into your awareness field, the way that you able to comprehend it. So if you ain't got nothing going on at all, you just think it's just gonna poof out the sky, it ain't gonna just do that. The most practical way that you could apply that is going to get a scratch off, right? And you will see that shit happen. You will see it happen. But if you got a business or if you work in a job where you could petition for more hours and stuff like that, all that shit gonna automatically happen. You know, all you got to do is think it and speak it and feel it and keep doing it repetitively. I don't care what it is. Start putting the inventory into that. Watch it start happening for you, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling y'all, why y'all think they charge people for advertisement and shit like that? It's to get your attention. It's to get your attention. And while they got your attention, they ain't giving you shit. You know what I mean? So just keep doing it. To my mental and physical efforts, I had the potential of my spiritual self. Its qualities permeate affairs. Its essence flows through my entire being. To my mental and physical efforts, I had the potential of my spiritual self. Its qualities permeate affairs. Its essence flows through my entire being. Man, I might say that 108 times, just whipping up some resin while I'm making these pyramids, right? While I'm making the pyramid. I look up, I done said it that many times. Sometimes even more. It don't even matter. You know, I told y'all 133 is to master it. But 108, that's easy for me to hit because I'm used to going on 133s. You know, and I showed you guys I showed you guys before, you know, the tetrahedron. You know, y'all know that represents fire. And that's the tetrahedron in the head right here. See that? It's the tetrahedron. I don't know what's wrong with these markers. This shit is tripping. No. The tetrahedron represent the glands in your brain. The binary glands, the pineal gland, and the pituitary gland. That's the tetrahedron. Representing fire, right? Representing 27, which is Het Heru, right? Cobalt. We're using cell phones. 27 times, 27 times, 27 times, 27 times equal 108, right? It's 108 petals on the flower of life. So you can synchronistically move these things into your reality. You just got to be honed in on it. You can't allow yourself to be distracted. And do it 108 times. That takes some discipline. Om Shreem Hleem Kleem, 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 Om Shreem Hleem Kleem. I say that shit 108 times. Then I say it another 108. Then another one. Then I just keep on saying it. I just keep saying it all day long. Off and on. And then somewhere down the line, it's going to end up turning into a flower of life. And it's going to show up in your life miraculously, right? That's just one of many. You could do this with anything, right? And this is Het Hiru. This is the tetrahedron, which is dealing with the glands in your brain to keep these things at a constant, 27 times a piece, right? That's saying it 9 times in a row, 3 times. Count them on your fingers, right? It ain't difficult. It's all repetition and what you putting your attention on and what you speaking into your life, right? And it's going to give you all of the Sims. Y'all know what we call that in the group. Those are signs, indicators, and messages. You're going to get a sign, an indicator, and a message if you always thinking it and you always speaking it and you can feel it. You're going to start seeing signs, indicators, and messages that show you, right? Whatever it is that you're saying, you're going to be lined up right with it. And see, a lot of times we be like, we can't believe that we got that type of power. So we try to credit something else other than us. But you admitted that shit and wanted that to happen. Good, bad, or indifferent. It can and will happen for you. You just gotta have tunnel vision. Right? I ain't saying be oblivious, but be honed in on what it is that you want and what you attempting to do. And nothing else will really matter. Then I ain't gonna say that it don't matter, but it's like, yo, I gotta make sure this shit is right first. Right? I made a declaration to myself to like, yo, I gotta put in even more effort into my thing and really pour, right? Really pour in. Look at this thing. Just nicely crafted. See the edges? See the edge on that thing? Now I'm growing more patient with my builds because I'm already projecting the right energy into it. And I sit them in front of the altar and this thing gonna have your third eye open up. Your third eye gonna open up when you sitting in front of you. Every pyramid I do from now on, it's at least gonna do that. So imagine the 13 key joints I'm gonna be coming with. It's gonna be on a whole nother level, right? Get a 13 key ready for them. Okay, I will. But I'm telling y'all, pyramids, you could lay a pyramid on top of a book, right? It ain't gotta be this. Any type of pyramid. You just lay it on top of a book. Relax. Count backwards from 19, but do the breath work that I showed you guys in the community. Do the breath work technique. Think about the information that you want to get out the book and watch, and then take the pyramid off the book and open up the book, and it's going to open right to the page of what you need to get out of that book. That's how effective a pyramid could work. Just the shape of it, right? It's the way that it gets the dimension to bend in on itself. And when the light refracts through it, right, it has the ability to transmutate it if you got the right elements involved. Like gold, right? When you got gold on a pyramid, it create tachyon energy. It create a tachyon energy field in this dimension. And see, that's something else. That's some whole other shit right there. And like I was telling y'all yesterday about the Olmecs that came over here from Uganda and established the ritual sites and built pyramids. And they was mixing in with beings that was from beyond the stars. Right? They was mixing in with them. And they was playing deadly games like the Predator. Like they was on that level. Some of the beings. When you mix the genetics together. And they said that was 1600 BCE. That's just, we just going with what anthropologists said. Now, see, they don't never bring up the bones because I'm sure that it was some bones buried, but they don't want to go into that. They're going to take you to something closer to when them conquistadors and the Portuguese and all of them and the French, when they came mixing they seed in. Them the only type of grave sites they want to show you. They got to keep it in the Proto-Indo timeline. But they put their foot in their mouth when they said that the Aztecs called these people the rubber plant tree people. And that proverbial or that particular rubber plant tree originated in Uganda. And that's why I'm always bringing up about Uganda. And they showed the line that they walked through. I showed it to you guys in the Parudi paradigm. It's also in Set the Record Straight by Dr. Melakaza Duck York L. It's also in documentary called They Came Before Columbus, talking about these beings that traveled from Uganda to South America. And they bought this tree with them because they used it like a raincoat. They used it for shoes. You feel me? They would make boats out of it. They bought it all up through the Yucatan Peninsula up into Mexico. And they were called the rubber plant tree people, right? And see, the Hindus used to come and mix in too. The Hindus had navigation trade routes as well. Them Bulgarians, them Amorites and all of them, they didn't learn how to do the seas until later. That wasn't something that they learned off the rip. They didn't know how to navigate the oceans and shit like that. They ain't been around here that long. So where can you get the hat? You can get the hat at 1089techvision.com. Go to my website. Support the website, you guys. Anybody that buys Orgonite, you can come join our group on Google Chat. Come join us for Money Making Mondays, Moon Magic Mondays, Metaphysical Mondays, Money Code Mondays, Mantra Mondays. 1089techvision.com for all the latest in apparel. You know, I got the nice apparel popping off. I have my own brand. And this is all for the OrgoniteTEK. You know, I just lead with the tech, with the Baruti brand since 1978. Thank you for everyone that does support the brand. I appreciate it. Everybody that be rocking it. All of the practitioners that take the direction and the instruction and that's receiving positive results. I thank everybody. And like I said, this is for the world, man. It's growing. It's getting bigger. More and more people are coming in. More and more people are aware of what's going on. And hey, I'm telling you, we hit in London next. I'm trying to go out to the UK, right? We gonna come to the UK first. We ain't gonna come there and do no seminar or nothing. Not first. Just doing some recon. and then we gonna come back correctly though. You feel me? But 1089techvision.com, I got the hats on deck. In different colors. I ain't put the white hat on there. I need to put that white hat on there. Why is it? Yeah. But I appreciate it. Any other questions? But yeah, we've been had off-world connections, y'all. That ain't nothing new. Like that been going on with the beings on this planet. You know, a lot of beings broker different type of deals with other beings from other star systems in order to gain access to different resources. And in some instances, they have more advanced technology that they're willing to share in order to advance the civilizations. This is the way of your galaxy. It's just that the beings that are in control of the populace of your planet currently are very selfish and greedy, and they serve a dark, malevolent force that feeds their lowly sensations. And that time has expired, right? And people are falling, that conditioning is waning, and people are searching for something. They want something real. They want something that's going to give them a positive impact in their life. They want to do something that's going to make a difference, right? We all do in our heart of hearts. It's just staying on that path and finding solace in our intentions. These things do take time as we deprogram from the conditionings of the grimoire that's sitting in the pit of our subconscious mind, right? So that we can move clearly and effectively, right? And set the right type of example for those that come from behind us, right? It's only right. You know, and that's for the Generation X people and those at the Generation X, Z, Y, whatever the fuck it is. But and that's for y'all too, right? Do the right thing, man. Stop doing the ignorant thing. It's nothing more sadder than seeing people conduct themselves in an ignorant manner. It don't matter what color they are, right? It's disgusting. And we got to have a moral compass and code that we should present to others, right? There has to be an ethos that's shared in the collective awareness field that people get behind. And that's what we're putting together in our community. This will negate beings from labeling us when they see us and just assuming that we're perpetuated to be across these media platforms. Those are the beings that they want to be highlighted. And it won't stop until we make it stop. We got to stop giving that shit our attention, right? Have better outcomes. Bigger things can happen for us. We just take our attention off of that crap. Because it's crap, man. You deserve that attention. You know, pay attention to your mantras. Today was Mahashri Lakshmi. How many of you guys did the Mahashri Lakshmi mantra? Right? Sing her mantra 108 times. You know, I can't help but to do it. I did it twice this morning, right? And I burnt a note to her, and I just, you know, asked her to look out for my dearly departed. You know, show them the way to prosperity and fulfillment. Eradicate the poverty demons that are lording in my field of awareness in the life of the four ventricle lines of my family tree and to all those I know and love, right? Especially on this day, the day of Freya. or Friday. We're going to project a unit of time every Friday a.m. dedicated to Mahashri Lakshmi, sing her invocations as best as you can, all right? And give her a proper salute. And when we do this consistently, it starts to reverberate back into our reality as well. Everything that you do for your dearly departed, it starts to come back onto you as well in a positive way, man. You'll feel good about yourself. Not to say that you don't, but it's even better. You'll want better for yourself. You'll want to start thinking better and doing better, right? Giving the people that deserve a helping hand in your life. Speak to the cashier. Say their name if their name is present. Don't halfway acknowledge people. See, it's about spiritual currency, not physical currency. You got to have the spiritual currency. And that's what I thrive on, is spiritual currency. I'm going to say the right thing. I'm going to conduct myself in the appropriate manner, right? I'm going to uplift fallen humanity where I see fit. Sometimes things require fire. Sometimes it requires water. You just got to have the right temperament and know which one is best to present, right? And you have to be consistent. And when you do these things, you get results. Because doing the right thing, it may not make you famous, right? It may not get you the notoriety that you want, but it's a lot more rewarding. It's a lot more rewarding, right? I don't do things for validation. I know I'm dialed in with the ancestors. I know that they're here with me right now. I know that my Sims are on point. The cardinals fill my backyard along with many other birds on a consistent basis. I don't even need that confirmation like that, right? But I still acknowledge and I honor it. And I'm out here doing my part. For the people that have loved ones that want to have that same connection, they want that same acknowledgement, especially coming up on Mother's Day. And I want to give a special ashe to all of the people out there that have lost their mother, that do not have their mothers in their life. Your mother is the pillar of the foundation of love that you have in this life. And for your mother to have a day that honors her outside of her birthday, it says a lot about the sacrifice and devotion that a mother has, the innate instinct to nurture, right? It needs to be acknowledged. She puts her life on the line, and there's a 50-50 chance that she loses her life while giving birth to life. And one time a year is not sufficient enough. I think every day deserves an ashe. But it's a special day that people take out. And I just want to acknowledge for this time for the people that have lost their mother. And I'm telling you, still have your mother, love your mother, because you never get another. It's no love like a mother's love. And you have to acknowledge and pour your love into your mother, right? Let her know how much you love her. I told y'all about Het Hiru in the heart. You had to go through forgiveness. If y'all got some forgiveness that you need to work through, you need to go ahead and work through it, right? It is what it is, right? Especially in this great day and time. There is no remedy for raising your moral standards and evolving emotionally and conducting yourself like a mature adult. There isn't. You can't pay your way into having good character. Or as the Ephi say, EY Pele, gotta have good character. That's something that you should work on. People should have great things to say about you wherever you go, right? You want to keep that up effortlessly. And the path to doing that, it all sits in the range of Korshania, which is our spiritual system. Come join us, the 1089 Tech community in July, San Antonio, Texas, July 25th. I want to say from 9 o'clock to about 7 p.m. We're going to go, right? We're going to go. And man, for all the people that took my discourse and they get the premium outcome, right, of your own activity, right? The proof is in the pudding, man. I mean, it pretty much it is. And I look forward as I go into year 16 of interfacing with my dearly departed. I look forward to spending that time in my altar, taking care of it, dressing it up, putting the plates and the fruit up there and refreshing the water, and it's just a part of my life now, right? It's a part of my life, and I wouldn't have it no other way. Ever since I started doing that, it altered my life. I just gotta say, I gotta say, and I'm glad that I was able to become aware of it and to understand, how it works in your life and the things that you should be doing with your life will appear in alignment with that altar, right? Because without it there, who knows what I'd be doing? But with it there, I know exactly what's going on. I know exactly what direction I'm headed in. And I can't be wavered from anything. Because it's a path that my dearly departed has laid out before me to take. And I acknowledge it and I accept it. And I appreciate, all that they've done. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. And that's the song I sing, y'all. I ain't gonna come on here and tell you, and we could go deeper, but that's where everything starts at. It's just right there, with your grandmamas and your granddaddies, man. They set the foundation. They had to endure a lot of bullshit, man. For real. I be talking to them all the time in the flames and letting them know, man, like, man, y'all had to endure some bullshit for us to be doing what we doing. For us to be nutting up and conducting ourselves. And see, that's what a lot of you hooga boogers don't get. And a lot of people that don't conduct themselves in a rightful manner. You don't know what it took for you to even be around here behaving as ratchet as you do. You don't even acknowledge it. And that needs to be castigated from the collective, people that behave in that manner. Because there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears just for you to have to be able to move around this country the way that we have, right? These motherfuckers didn't want us here on our own fucking land. You had the nerve to set up your Disneyland on top of our territory. How dare you? But you did all of that, right? And then you don't want me to take part in it at all. But you want me to be there. Like the type of narcissistic fuckery is going on here, right? You used to couldn't vote. You couldn't read. They didn't want you to go to school. The children. Remember the little black girl that went to the school and they was like, we don't want no niggers in our school. That wasn't even 100 years ago, y'all. Y'all gotta wake the fuck up. Y'all better wake up, man. See, that spell is deep. That wasn't even 100 years ago. They say, oh, things have changed. No, they haven't. If there hasn't been any atoning that has been done, then nothing has happened. And that ain't even going to be enough. It's going to take some action, right? It's going to have to be a full ripple effect before we really see some type of change. But it starts with our dearly departed, y'all. I'm telling you. All our dearly departed are working together. Man. Because this is Thriller night. It won't be just like Thriller, but you know what I mean? It'll be an orchestrated manifestation of destiny if we fortify these bridges that have been burnt or broken, you know. And it's a lot that can be done. We just got to be willing to do it, man. You know, us at the AAA Academy and the alumni, the people, you know, that's on that in the council, man, we putting that shit out there, man. I told y'all I already done made an impact on the world. I done impacted the ozone layer, the ley lines of the planet, the chakras of the planet, right? Changing people's environments, their life. Now we starting to impact the afterworld, the afterlife, right? At the same rate that I'm impacting stuff on this side, I could do it in the afterlife too. Or it's starting to happen in the afterlife. And now I got the Dream Tech Ultra and I'm affecting people's dreams too. In a positive way. See, it's the compound interest of the effect of what I'm doing. And over time, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. You know, my lives be suppressed. They do everything to shadow ban my lives. If I say too much intricate things, they will suspend the live. I get a violation every time I come on here. They slowed me down in the algorithm. And I'm okay with that. It's just compound interest at a time. That shit start to compound over time and start to coagulate. And then it explodes. You hear me? That's just the way that it go. That's the way that it go. And it's our time now. It's time for us to reclaim our legacy. It's time for it to be reclaimed. The IRA and the Aya Heru is open now. It's not closed no more. Any other questions? We got any other questions out there? Yeah, I'm gonna get on off of this joint. Just so we can maintain the line. Now, in case you guys got any questions, we got 66,600 likes. Salute to the like committee. Double law. I see Dia Eyes in the building. Beverly Jones, what's up, Bev? Who am I? Who am I? Yeah, so y'all just stay on it, you guys. Stay vigilant. Stay on your dean, right? All my people in the tech space, y'all need to go through them study notes. Go through the study notes and keep going over that stuff. Go over the Gregory Grabavoy codes. Go over all of the different boards, the raynology that you come across, right? I'm telling you, this stuff is creating new neural pathways in your brain, right? It's generating more axon terminals. so that you could get more neurons out even faster, especially to the pituitary gland, to the neocortex area. You know, accelerated activity in this area, it strengthens your ability to use your higher senses. It strengthens your antenna, right? I'm telling you, it's like getting online, but instead you get access to the random, boundless universe, random access to it. But your channels got to be open. Your feet got to be grounded in this reality. You need to get out there, plant your feet in the grass, hold your hands up to the sun, lift your head back, and inhale that sunlight. Inhale it for each gland, the number of times that the gland is. So for one, you're going to inhale once. For two, two, three, three, four, four, and exhale double the amount of times at each chakra station, right? This is how you inhale the photosynthesis into your body and store the light there. It enhances the consciousness in that chakra field. So you become more apt to pick it up on the transmissions on that end of the spectrum. You just got to be aware of it. And the sun gives you enough consciousness to do that. You ain't had to read a book. You ain't had to do nothing. Just go inhale some sunlight and plant your feet in the grass, right? Start giving reverence to the sun. Give your reverence to the planet. Because they playing their part too. Right? They playing their part too. You ain't giving them no ashe. I'm telling you, that stuff go a long way. This is how you build up your spiritual currency. You stay out the way of them accidents, and you stay out the way of the tomfuckery and the negativity that occurs inadvertently in people's life. Right? This is how it works for you, man. Shouts out to Keith. Keith, I got I'm gonna have your shirts nice and crispy for you, brother. Shouts out to Keith. Keith just ordered a pyramid. It's the pyramid, Keith. That's the pyramid that's gonna go along with your joint. You dig? Keith got the labradorite too. This mug sharp. Edges. I might have to sand the edges a little bit. Yeah, this got the ultra dark matter mix in it. Labradorite. The camera not doing it no justice. I try to put the light on it. Yeah, I'm a Palo Santo this thing. You know how I do. Yeah, that one for Keith. I got 2 of them left, you guys. If you guys want to purchase them, you got to DM me because they're not on the site. These are a little bit bigger than personal size. These 2 booties. Master OrgoniteTEK builder, Dr. Ray, in full effect. Haru Netaru, don't think I forgot about you, brother. I got you. As soon as I come off this live, get up with that brother too. One of my brothers from the order, putting in the order. You welcome, beloved. Thank you as well, right? I'm sure it's going to go to good use. I'm highly confident in that. Y'all check out the sales we got available on the website. 1089techvision.com. And hey, it is what it is. Sales is on. Big guns on sale. Put your orders in now. Maha Sri Lakshmi Friday is in full effect. May the ancestors be with you. May the gods of wealth and fortune maintain them continuously. Badu.